Welcome back to Manshot Motorsports. It's Papa Pugsville here. Today we have round one, groups 3 and 4 of the Test and Tune tournament. Let's take a quick look at the top 5 we have. So I did fix this when I added Cam on. I left Arlo off, so this is the top 5 here adjusted. Today we'll be seeing 2 different groups go. We're going to start off with Sam Hall, Mr. Dark, Jacob, and Marco Polo will be in group 3. And Pokey, basically Daryl, Giorgio, and Hades will be in group 4. Let's take a look at our drivers. We have Sam Hall from DRT 3K Racing in his Lotus E-Sprint at 59.1 grams. Then we have Mr. Dark from Dubious Diecast, a 67 Mustang, coming in at 58.7 grams. We have Jacob from Secret Menu Racing and a Lancer Evolution at 59 grams. And lastly, we have Marco Polo from Polo Racing in a 71 Chevy Camaro at 59.2 grams. Sam Hall will be starting off in pole position. You got Mr. Dark in the outside front row. You got Marco Polo behind Sam Hall and Jacob behind Mr. Dark. Take a closer look at Sam Hall's time here, 6.888. Not quite good enough to get on to the top 5, but that was a fast run. Starts off, everybody staying pretty steady going into the butterflies. Sam Hall starts off to a big lead. Marco Polo's falling back a little bit. They all fall in single file going around the campers. Again, Sam Hall's pulling off to a pretty big lead. Going down around the 360 by himself there and ahead of everybody. Getting a little squirrely coming out of that last corner there. And everybody finishes. We had Sam Hall first, Mr. Dark, Jacob, and Marco Polo. Mr. Dark's going to slide over to the pole position. Mr. Dark's the only one to finish. You got Sam Hall and Marco Polo up there by the campground. So they all came into the butterfly pretty good. Again, Marco Polo's kind of falling behind. Looks like Jacob kind of pushed Sam Hall down into the cliff there, and then Marco got caught up behind him. Mr. Dark came down looking good, and then Jacob kind of got on his lid there and didn't quite slide far enough. With that, Mr. Dark's the only one getting points out of that. He's in the lead with 8 points. We got Jacob on the pole now. Everybody gets to the butterfly again, good together. Looks like Marco's holding up Sam Hall a little bit. Coming down, they get around the campers. You got Mr. Dark trying to go to the inside, and Jacob pushes him off the track, falls down off the cliff there. And the other 3 come in to the finish. And end up winning that one, bringing the scores a lot closer together here. Mr. Dark still has the lead with 8. Okay, for the 4th lap, Marco Polo is now in the pole position. Sam Hall had a 6.8587 there, not quite enough, good enough for the score. So Sam Hall's off to an early lead again, coming down, leaving everybody behind. They all go single file across the campers. I'll make it coming down around the 360, and Mr. Dark goes underneath Jacob there for 3rd place. Alright, and with that, with a score of 10 and 12, Sam Hall and Mr. Dark are going to move on. Okay, between the races here, I want to take a moment to recognize Spoolheads Racing. All this track here is 3D printed track. all came from Spoolheads Racing. He puts this out there for anybody to download and print themselves for free. The only custom thing was this butterfly turn that he had but didn't fit the dimensions I had, so he actually recreated that for me and I was able to print that. So a huge shout out to Spoolheads Racing. Any of your needs, make sure you contact him, and he's very, very good to work with. For our next race, we're going to start with Pokey from Briar Lane Fabrication and 85 IROC at 41.4 grams. Then we have Bay City Darrell from Bay City Diecast Racing in a 2020 Jaguar F-Type coming at 60 grams. Then we got Giorgio from G-Force Racing. He's also in a Jaguar, but he's in an XE coming in at 56.2 grams. Lastly, we got Hades from Karmic Racing and a 71 Porsche 911 coming in at 59.1 grams. We'll be starting off with Pokey in the pole position. You got Bay City Darrell in the outside front lane. You got Hades behind Pokey and Giorgio behind Bay City Darrell. Rough start coming out of the start gate, so that puts their lane a little bit behind. Coming down, my camp camera went out, so I'm using original footage for that. But that second lane is starting to catch up a little bit. You got Pokey really out in the lead, coming through, and is going to take the easy win on this. And then the other three are coming through all together there. Bay City had a little rough finish there. So we had Pokey taking that one. So now Bay City Darrell comes over to the pole position. Bay City Darrell has a heck of a time with that starting gate. He had issues again, and Pokey shoved him right off the track. Coming down, you got Giorgio in the lead coming down. Pokey's trying to catch up. Hades has a little bit of an issue there on the straightaway. And Giorgio coming down all by himself. And there's Pokey. There's Giorgio finishing. And here's Pokey coming in to get second. Alright, so we have Pokey in first place, Giorgio in second. Giorgio's switched over to the pole position on this run. Smoother run this time. Everybody gets the butterfly smoothly. Giorgio's pulling off to a little bit of a lead there. Pokey's trying to catch up there from the back. It's like Bay City's trying to make a run on Giorgio. Not quite able to make it. Giorgio's coming for the win. Bay City Darrell second. You got Hades. You got Pokey on top there. With that, that was Giorgio in first and Pokey's in second. Now you got Hades in the pole for the last race. Again, we got a smooth start. Everybody gets the butterfly at the same time. Looks like Pokey's coming off to a little bit of a lead there. Kind of all jumbled up going around the campers. You got Pokey, you got Hades, you got Bay City Darrell, and then Giorgio. Looks like Bay City Darrell came in on his top, but they're all able to finish. So with that, we got Pokey and Giorgio tying at 13. They'll be moving on. All right, and with that, congratulations to Sam Hall, Mr. Dark, Giorgio, and Pokey. They will all be moving on to the second round of the Test and Tune tournament. Let's take a look at the brackets, how it sits now. So next week, we're going to be having Mark D, Uncle Elvis, Sneaky Bob, and Shadow. And then we'll also have Numbskull, Reddy, Juicy J, and Po Boy. Those will be groups 5 and 6 next week. All right, now take a closer look at the track. I want to show everybody here this little cliff there by the campers. It is not intruding into the track at all. All it is slow cars falling off the track, which then hit the cliff there. And this is one thing I'm struggling with. So coming down this straightaway, I've had a lot of feedback thinking that 360 corner is too fast. Lots of cars make it through it just fine, but lots of them flip too. I'm trying to decide what the best way to try to slow it down a little bit is. Obviously, I'm kind of locked into the track in place. I thought about putting a little hill before entering the 360, but I thought if I make a hill, that would just be, it would slow them down a little bit to start with, but then it would speed them back up coming down the hill to enter it. Thought about putting some sort of surface on there that might slow them down a little bit, so I am trying to figure out what to do there to slow them down just a little bit. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode next week.